Danny's father touched the edge of the telegraph, his eyes heavy and sad. Cassie hadn't seen him this way for many years, not since they'd received word that Danny's grandfather had passed. What a turn. The father Danny had lost now mourning a lost son. "He isn't lost," she told herself firmly. "He said he would come back. Colton said he would bring him back." "After everything that's happened," Christopher said, "we've grown more and more convinced something's wrong. The Indian rebels trying to rise up again, Enfield targeted." His face hardened. "And Colton gone." Cassie tried not to flinch. "But Colton left a letter. He said he was coming back." "Who's to say he was the one who left it? What if someone took him?" Christopher banged a fist against the table, making Layla and Cassie jump. "Damn these clock spirits! Never thinking about the consequences of what they do." "Chris," the kettle shrieked, and Layla took it off the stove. "We've discussed this. Maybe Colton just went back to Enfield." "I don't believe that. For all we know, he could be in India." Again, Cassie resisted the urge to fidget. Clearing her throat, she said, "I know it might be nothing, but I saw a strange bloke outside." "Oh, him," Layla huffed and poured 3 cups. "We've both seen him. Comes round like clockwork every 2 days. We thought he was a salesman at first. But every time we see him or try to talk to him, he leaves." Christopher accepted his tea with quiet thanks. "Obviously he's spying on us. Might know something about Colton." "Maybe," Cassie said uneasily. She'd only just raised the teacup to her lips when the front door rattled under a pounding fist. Layla's hand shot to her throat in surprise. "Who on earth?" She hurried from the kitchen, her curls bouncing. Christopher and Cassie scraped their chairs back and followed. In the hallway, Layla opened the door to reveal 3 large men wearing the blue of the London authorities. One tipped his cap. "Mrs. Hart, is it?" Layla seemed spooked into silence, so Christopher stepped forward. "This is the Hart residence, yes? May we help you, officers?" The man's gaze travelled from Christopher to Layla, sparing only a glance at Cassie. "Christopher Hart and Layla Hart, parents of Daniel Hart." Layla heaved a shuddering gasp. There was usually only one reason why the police showed up at your door with your son's name on their lips. "No," Cassie whispered, shrinking back against the wall. "He's dead. He promised he'd come back, and now he's dead." Christopher gripped his wife's thin shoulders, his knuckles white. "What about our son?" The constable signaled the other 2 before they barreled into the house. One clomped up the stairs while the other brushed past Cassie into the sitting room. "Wait just a minute," Christopher yelled. "You can't barge into someone's home." "Actually, sir, we can," the constable said. "And I'm charged with asking you a few questions about Daniel, such as when you last spoke to him and where he was last seen." "We haven't seen him in months." "Please," Layla whispered. Her dark eyes shone with tears. "Has there been news? What's happened to Danny? Please don't tell me he's—" The constable sighed, and Christopher tightened his grip on his wife's shoulders. Cassie could hear the crash of furniture being overturned, drawers being pulled out of the desk upstairs, the ruffling of papers, all of it a distant clamour under the pounding of her heart. "By order of Her Majesty the Queen," the constable said, "Mr. Daniel Hart is to be apprehended and tried for treason." The coast of Bali. The sea was restless. The normally turquoise waters churned a frothy grey, reflecting the clouds overhead. Waves rose and fell like small, doomed empires. Zavier breathed in the humid, salty air and closed his eyes. He tried to focus on that tentative thread stretching between him and the sea, the small link that would connect him to Aitas. As he expected, the connection was thin here. They were too far away from the god's prison to feel him in Bali. But he could feel another. He waded into the surf, deep enough that the tide licked at his shins. Bending, he cupped a handful of water, then pressed it to his forehead as if baptizing himself. "Oceana," he murmured, "you're anxious today." Zavier had seen her only once, but that one time was enough. He'd been younger then, more a slave to his heartbreak. He'd stood upon the shore, and Oceana upon the water, and looking into her eyes had been like searching all the sea's uncharted depths. She had spoken in that voice that wasn't a voice, telling him a story, one of God's and